110. Let's get to Poolman, which did technically come out last year in festivals, but it was only just recently released on VOD. It's directed and co written by Chris Pine, also stars Chris Pine, as well as Jennifer Jason Leigh, Danny DeVito, Annette Bening, John Ortiz, and a few others. And the synopsis is Darren Barronman is an unwavering optimist and native Angelino who spends his days looking after the pool of the Tahitian Tiki apartment block and fighting to make his hometown a better place to live. So I remember when this one premiered at maybe Cannes or Toronto Film Festival, I'm not really sure, but when it did, it got horrible reviews, at least from what I saw. People were saying, oh, this is like the worst debut in years. It's one of the worst premieres at the festival in ages. I was like, all right, how bad can this movie be? But at the same time, I was like, all right, this seems like a fairly harmless sort of film. It's nothing really crazy. End of the day, it's really just a private detective comedy of sorts, comedy noir, whatever you want to call it. And so didn't really know what to expect. The unreliable PI, like hippie PI, is something that's a bit of a soft spot for me in movies like Inherent Vice, Big Lebowski, that sort of thing, Beach Bum, and which all of those are in this movie for sure in little bits and pieces. So I was interested for sure. And I definitely don't think that the movie is horrible. I guess I can see why some people are trashing it, but at the same time, I think it's really inoffensive. It's nothing amazing for sure. There are points where the plot, the direction, storytelling gets a little too unfocused and it's not really cohesive the way that other meandering noirs do. And like all those ones I just mentioned, it's nowhere near as good as any of those for sure. It definitely would be the worst. But I still found it entertaining. I thought Chris Pine, who I think has just turned into the Pool Man, basically, when you see him at premieres with his long hair and beard and just living life, which is awesome. I think he's great in this. I love the character, and I love this sort of character that's very innocent and earnest, and also at the same time sort of hippie and pothead. It's just funny. So that was by far the best part of the movie for me. Everybody else is fine. I don't think that there's anybody amazing in the movie, performance-wise, that is. And the comedy, I don't think I ever really laughed that much. It wasn't really a laugh out loud sort of film, but I still found it charming and I was engaged through most of it. I liked the callbacks to certain things like Chinatown and other noirs. So it is one that I don't feel a huge need to go back to anytime soon. I'm not upset that it's out there, and I guess I am in some ways a defender of it, although it would definitely not be anywhere near my top 10 list or best of the year or best of Chris Pine. But still, I think for the right audience, I think you could enjoy it. It's not too long, it's not too complicated, and in some ways it's at least refreshing with the sort of film that it is, and it's not trying to be anything else that it's not, and it's just living within its own little world, weird world. So I like that. Maybe I'm in the minority there, I don't know, but I would give it a look at some point. Maybe just wait for it to come on a streaming service, which I'm sure it will, but at least it's trying to be different. So that one is a very, very light 3 out of 5.